Hello, Vern.
Oh my God.
Jade Scotton, and I
She's like your
think
mother.
you probably already know who I am. The last time I saw you, I was 3, almost 4. I am angry, Vern, because from what I understand, you knew Vicky was dangerous. This feels like it could have been very preventable. And I just want to know, why did this happen?
That's a tough question. I had no idea that Vicky was capable of this. Please know and understand that if I had any idea that she was going to do this, I would have stopped it. I'm sorry I failed you. We had a future that was taken from us by a monster. Oh. Get the break. I didn't know she was gonna do that. I didn't know she was gonna do that.
What I need you to do is be upfront and be honest with me and tell me what happened.
That I don't know a thing about it. I'm telling you the honest truth. I don't know a thing about it.
I don't think Vicky was evil. I know she was evil.
If you're a cold-blooded killer, sweetheart, I have no problem putting you in prison for the rest of your life. I can look you in the eyes and tell you that.
Calling her by her name, I feel like gives her too much respect. Anytime I referred to her, it's been 62794. Her prison number. I am so glad that 62794 is behind 8 feet of concrete where she belongs. And she'll never get out, except when the devil comes to take her to hell. This is Vicky and I and my 2 kids and her son. It's kind of around the time that she really started to show her true colors. We're all kind of faking happiness because we don't want to upset Vicky. If I could say one thing to that young man, I would tell him, get out now. Just get out. You're not going to make this work. I was 20 years old when I met Vicky Estabrook at the hospital that I worked at. Vicky was a registered nurse and I was a respiratory therapy student.
So how'd you get into this?
Well, I always wanted to help people.
She seemed nice. She seemed, a genuine person, somebody that seemed interested in me and wanted to get to know me. We just kind of talked about where we were from.
So, rumor has it that you're newly single.
Divorced.
My first marriage was a disaster from the beginning. I was 18 when I got married the first time. Vicky was previously married, and that marriage had fallen apart. She had a son, and at the time he was 4 years old. Vicky was a good listener. She seemed to be very sympathetic.
Hey, listen. If you ever want to talk to someone about it, I'm here.
In retrospect, if I could go back in time and change something, I would have turned around and run. We had just started dating. Like, we'd gone on a couple, maybe 2 or 3 dates. At that point, I didn't feel like we were in a relationship. But during a long weekend, some friends and I went up to West Yellowstone, Montana, just for a weekend getaway to visit and catch up. When I got back home to my mom's house, my mom, she says, "Do you know somebody named Vicky?" I said, "Well, yeah, I do."
Is she your girlfriend?
Well, I wouldn't say she's my girlfriend. We went on a couple of dates.
And she goes, "Well, she just called here looking for you, and she wanted to know where you were at, and she wanted to know who you were with, and, she was very direct about it." I said, "Well, what did you tell her?" And she said, "I didn't tell her anything. I just said that I'd have you call her when you got back." It was the first time that I really saw that possessive side of Vicky.
How was your weekend?
Fine.
When I saw Vicky for the first time back in Boise, she didn't really act accusatory or anything at that point. She seemed very pleasant.
My mother said that you called looking for me.
Oh, yeah. So what?
I asked her, how did you find my parents' phone number? And then that's when she told me that she had gone through all of the Jensens in the phone book.
I just went down the list.
That's weird. I kind of felt like my privacy was being invaded, and I did not really appreciate it. I'm not committed to this person. We're not dating. We're not boyfriend, girlfriend. We're not living together.
That's a little weird, don't you think? We're not even a couple.
Then she just kind of got real serious. She goes, yeah, you're my boyfriend. I'm your girlfriend.
I'll apologize to your mother when I meet her.
It was something I thought was odd, but I didn't really think it was anything to worry about at the time. You got to remember, I was only 20 years old at the time. I didn't have a lot of experience with people, especially in relationships, you know, and I thought that maybe she was just really into me. In retrospect, this was the first red flag. I soon came to understand later on that when Vicky wanted something, she got it. And it was not negotiable. Trying to find a job in my field in Boise was tough because the full-time positions weren't there.
So how's the job search going?
Oh, good.
I was able to get a job full-time after graduating from college down in Twin Falls, Idaho. And so I had made the decision to move.
So what is this about?
I'm moving to Twin Falls.
And she got upset. And she goes, why? Are you seeing somebody else down there? Have you got another girl down there?
So who is she?
Who's who?
Slut you're moving for.
And I said, no, it's not the case. I told you, I'm just going down because this is where they have a full-time job for me at. So I'm going to go there. You stay here. Maybe we can see each other from time to time.
We can still hang out on weekends. We can still be friends.
She hit me with, I'm quitting my job and I'm coming with you.
I have to think about this. I guess I could move to Twin Falls.
I didn't really understand how to respond to that.
Moving in the middle of the school year will be tough, but
I liked her, and I thought, well, maybe this will be okay. Maybe she is supposed to come with me. Maybe we are just supposed to be together.
you know what? I think this will be good for us.
Didn't really understand that this was not normal. I learned in subsequent years what I was to her. I wasn't the love of her life. The word I had to use to describe myself to her, I was property.
All right, so you take both of the laces.
After Vicky and her son moved in with me, I got to know him a lot better. When I met Vicky's son for the first time, I noticed his legs were burned from about the knees down to the top of his feet. It looked incredibly painful to me.
Hey, guys.
Vicky kind of explained how that had happened. The story that she had told me was that she was giving him a bath, and the phone had rung, or the doorbell had rung, I can't remember which. She left him for just a second to go answer the phone or go answer the door. And when she came back, he had turned the hot water on. And I guess the water heater was set at a very high temperature, and she said that it had just burned his legs really bad. And I thought, wow, that's terrible. But I kind of started thinking about that a little bit, and what she described did not seem to make sense.
How did the water heat up so fast?
What do you mean?
I was thinking, if there was already water in the tub, in order to reach a point that it would burn his skin like that, the water would have had to have been on for quite a while. I said, well, you must have had that water heater set at like thermonuclear or something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you the expert on water now?
Well, no, I understand.
She got very, very, very upset. That was not a good thing to talk to her about.
Do you think that I did this?
Well, no.
She said, what are you accusing me of? Are you accusing me of hurting my son? Whoa, no. I didn't say anything about it. We're having a conversation here. I'm just trying to understand what had happened.
I just want you to calm down. Okay.
You want me to calm down?
That's not the words
You
I
want me to
meant.
calm
I didn't
down?
mean.
You know what? No, you don't.
And she said, what happened is exactly what I told you happened. Okay.
Listen to me. What I do with my son is my business.
I was never able to learn for sure what had happened. I have no evidence one way or the other, and I'm certainly not accusing her of anything, but it is highly suspect. I think she was mad at him and she was punishing him for something. It just kind of goes very well with her personality. If people in her life that she felt were hers didn't do what she wanted them to do, her response was to hurt them. Once my divorce from my first wife was finalized, Vicky made the decision that we were going to get married. It was a very transactional thing. That's the best way to describe it. At the time, I didn't really think about that I was making a mistake. We were living together and we were acting like husband and wife. I thought it was the thing to do. I'd seen her temper, but I hadn't seen the really ugly side of her. She reserved that till after we got married. We had decided to build a fence to protect the dogs from the road. We lived on a road that was fairly busy, and we didn't want the dogs to go out and get hit. So I went to the store and I bought the supplies. I was unloading the steel posts and I unloaded the wire and I was getting things kind of ready to start the construction of the fence. And boy, she came out and she looked at that wire and she just blew up.
Vern! What is all this?
What in the hell did you buy that for? That's not what we talked about. That's not what we discussed. What are you, stupid?
Weren't you listening to me? What are you, a moron?
When Vicky would get angry, her face would turn red and her eyes just, you could almost feel like they were piercing you. And then she kind of started with just like, pushing on me. My God, you're so stupid. I'm like, wait a minute. I walked up and said, whoa, stop. This is ridiculous.
It's just a fence. Don't act crazy.
It's not just a fence. Don't you call me crazy.
And then she just, I mean, it was just out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, who in the hell expects that? And then she just started with that god-awful cackly laugh that she had. Called me a wussy. What's the matter with you, wussy? What's the matter? Aren't you going to punch back? What's the matter? Can't you fight?
Hit me! Act like a man!
I'd never been hit by a girl before. I guess I didn't know how to respond. I mean, you know, I was raised that you never hit a girl.
You're pathetic.
After she hit me, she kind of looked at me for a second and then just turned around and walked inside. I guess you could say that that's when I really started to realize that I had made a mistake. Vicky's anger and rage really began to show and became more and more a part of our daily life. But every time she would blow her stack, every time she would pop me in the jaw, I thought, okay, I've already gone through one divorce. So you've got to be able to make a marriage work. I guess I didn't realize that she was crazy. I thought a lot of it was me, that I was doing things that were making her angry or annoying to her. And I really thought if I could just adjust my behavior, it would help to alter the trajectory of the relationship. Life with Vicky was something to be endured. It was like living with a powder keg. A bomb, you just never knew when it was going to go off. There was one time we'd gotten some deli meat, and this particular grocery store, I didn't really care for the roast beef that they made. She liked it, I did not like it. So we had gotten turkey and ham and cheese and other things. And I'd ask her, I just says, hey, no roast beef on my sandwich, please. I don't really care for that.
Here you go.
She said, here's your sandwich. It had roast beef on it. I didn't say anything. I just walked over to the sink and I was taking the roast beef off and I was setting it aside. And my back's to her and I'm just doing my thing. All of a sudden, a knife goes zinging past my head into the cupboard. She had thrown a knife at me. And I turned around and I said, what in the hell is wrong with you? Why would you throw a knife at me? My God, really?
I do not deserve that.
Now, I don't know if she meant to hit me with it. I don't know if it was bad aim. I got in my car and I went down and I slept at my office that night. I felt like property. I felt like I was her favorite chew toy. But I guess I put up with a lot of crap for a long time because I wanted it to work. You just deal with it. At least that's what I thought. Vicky felt like she had the power to control things. She felt like not only that she had the power, she had the right to control things. My 2 children from my first marriage lived with my former wife. One day we got a letter in the mail that the state was going to be raising my child support. And I told Vicky about it.
What is that?
And she blew up.
Your ex-wife thinks that she can empty us out?
She screamed and yelled and said, she doesn't need any more money. She's like, that bitch is not going to be raising your child support. We can't afford it. She said, I'm going to take care of this.
And we are not going to let her get away with this.
I asked her, what do you mean? And she says, I think I know the perfect way to kill somebody.
Do it right. No one will ever know.
She goes, yeah, just overdose them on insulin. You inject it between their toes. They don't look between the toes. And you just inject it in there and you get away with it. I thought she was just being a dumbass. I didn't really think about, oh my gosh, this is a person that could kill somebody. It was not long after that, 4 or 5 days later.
Good, you're home.
She said, you need to go to your parents' house where someone can verify that you were there. I asked her, why do I need to go to my parents' house? And she pulled out insulin and syringes. She said, you just need to go. I'm going to take care of this. She was going to go and kill my first wife. I said, no, 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 no. This was really the first time I ever took a stand with her. I just start yelling at her. I'm going, why in the hell would you want to do this? You're not doing this. You are not going to hurt my ex-wife. Anything ever happens to her, I'll call the police myself. She looked at me with these eyes like I'd betrayed her, like I was not part of the team and I would be dealt with.
You're just a coward.
She said, you won't stand up to her. You won't stand up to anybody. I grabbed that insulin up. I grabbed the syringes and I just ran from the house. I just go and I find a dumpster behind a grocery store and I just throw it in there. I thought about maybe I should call the police, but I thought that, well, it'll just be my word against hers and then things would be terrible at home. But I think it was at that point I really started to understand that I was in trouble. I first met Diane because she was participating in a class I was teaching at the nursing home she worked at. Her full name was Alita Diane Ray. She was a very pretty woman. And I just started talking with her in between classes. She was incredibly smart. She was very compassionate, very sympathetic. I had kind of found a kindred spirit in her. She became my best friend in the whole world. Come to find out that our lives paralleled. In that she was in a situation that was not very good with her boyfriend. And I kind of explained to her where I was at.
You wouldn't believe some of the things that she does.
Diane had helped me find my self-worth, made me realize that I didn't need Vicky anymore. I did not need to deal with her crap anymore. I was done with her.
Sometimes I think the only reason I'm still in it is because I don't want to get divorced twice.
Wouldn't you rather be happy?
I just came to the decision it was time. And I wanted to move on with my life. I wanted to be in a better place in my life. I needed to do better for myself. And I realized that I couldn't do that with Vicky anymore.
Sounds like we both deserve better.
So I just packed my stuff up while she was at work and went and got my own place. I didn't realize she was going to do what she did, which was hunt me down and find me. I had started the divorce proceedings. I'd gotten a lawyer. I was making payments to get him started. I had to work extra shifts at the hospital on weekends to pay for all of this stuff. And sure enough, guess who I found in the parking lot when I came out of the hospital from working an all-night shift?
Vern!
Oh, no, you stay away from me.
Vicky was sitting right there. I was just like, what the hell are you doing here?
We have to talk.
I'm done talking.
And she was like, you need to come back home. You need to come home now. I wasn't going to be the prisoner anymore.
But we have a home together. You can't just leave.
Watch me.
I said, no, we're done. I'm not coming back to you. I'm done with it. Do you understand me? Do you hear me? Do you get that through your thick skull that I'm done? Do you finally understand that? Sorry.
Vicky, stop.
You listen to me, Vern. You are mine.
She got mad.
You think I'm just gonna let you off the hook like that?
She said, I don't believe in divorce. I'm never going to divorce you. That'll never happen. She would tell me, divorce never, murder maybe. And she meant it.
Nothing is over!
After Vicky started showing up at my work, I went and bought something I had never bought before in my life. I went out and bought me a handgun to carry with me. If she was going to kill me, she was going to kill me. But I wasn't going to go down without a fight. About 2.5 months later, Diane and her daughter Jade moved in with me. Jade was 3, almost 4. We had gotten engaged. I had actually proposed to Diane.
Vern!
What is it?
It's her. She's here.
What?
When Vicky found out that Diane and I were living together and in a relationship, she tracked us down to our new apartment. When I opened the door and I saw Vicky and Diane's ex-boyfriend, I thought they were there to start trouble. I had my handgun in the apartment at that time, but it was locked up. We were not expecting her to show up.
Hey, stranger. Thought you might like to meet my friend.
Hi, Diane.
Who are you?
He's my ex.
You following me?
I started screaming at both. I said, you get the hell out of here. You have no reason to be here.
I'm sick of being threatened by you.
She said, well, good to see your balls have dropped.
Just get rid of them, Vern, please.
Diane was terrified of her boyfriend.
Call the cops, go!
She ran into the back of the apartment and hid. And police were called. The police showed up. Basically, they just told me to take a walk. Get out, just get away from it. Get away from the situation. Get away now.
Can't you do something? I mean, this is trespassing, right?
So if she was going to kill me, fine. I didn't know how she was going to do it.
They are dangerous.
And I said, if anything ever happens to me, you know damn well who it will have been. I thought it was me she was going to go after. I had no idea what was coming. The morning of September 9th, 1999, I left that morning around 6:45 in the morning. The plan was to be back there around 11 o'clock to pick her up because I had to make a road trip up to the Sun Valley, Idaho area. And Diane and Jade were going to come with me that day. When I first tried to call her to give her the heads up that I was on my way, Jade picked up the phone. She answered the phone, and I says, "Hi, Jade. How you doing? Let me talk to your mom." And that's when she said, "Well, Mommy's asleep." I said, "Well, can you wake her up?" And I said, "No." She said, "No, Mommy's asleep, and she's got purple lipstick or blue lipstick on." I had no idea what that meant. I mean, she was just a little kid at the time. I didn't think anything of it. I said, "Well, tell her I'm coming home so she can get ready and get dressed because I'll be there in just a little bit so we can go." "Okay." And she hung up. When I got home, Jade was watching TV and she just told me again. She said, "Mommy has blue lipstick on, purple lipstick on." And I went in and sorry. Sorry, this is harder than I thought. I walked into the bedroom. Diane was laying on her stomach. Went to shake her. Said, honey, we gotta get going. She was so cold. She was cold. When Diane first died, the police were telling me that she had passed away from a methamphetamine overdose, and I thought, that's impossible. She didn't use drugs. I know that. They said that they found methamphetamine and marijuana in her purse. I said, there's no way. There's no way. We'd only been living together for a short period of time, but I knew she didn't use drugs.
You said that you're going through a divorce now.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you getting divorced from?
Vicky Arlene Jensen. In my initial interview, I knew it was Vicky. I told them that. I said, Vicky did this because she tried to do it to my ex-wife.
Vicky's crazy. She's psychopathic. She's been doing driving by. She drove by 2 nights ago with somebody in the van, showing them where we live.
She had been so aggressive with trying to pursue me, and I just knew she had something to do with it.
Diane was worried about Vicky stalking us, and she said Vicky's going to try one more thing, do one more thing to try and break us up.
I looked broken, destroyed. I'm looking at that younger version of myself, and I can tell you what he feels. He knows that Vicky did it, and he feels like he's responsible.
She hated Diane. She used to call Diane a slut, or, But Diane was my soulmate. Diane she loved me. I loved her.
But we're right in the middle of a lover's triangle, aren't we?
Vicky called me on my cell phone. And she said something to the effect that, oh my gosh, I heard something had happened to Diane. I can't believe it happened, and I'm so sorry about this. And I said, Vicky, I know you had something to do with this, and I hope you rot in hell for what you've done. And I hung up on her. I moved out of the apartment. I don't know how she found me, but she showed up at my doorstep again. She said she wanted to talk to me. So I said, fine, let's go for a drive. Got in her car and she drove to a church parking lot. I always had my gun with me. Always had it with me. But I was nervous.
What are we doing here, Vicky?
She said I just needed to come home to her, that I'd need to get over this, and that I was hers, and I belonged with her.
I know you're sad, but it's time to move on.
She looked different. I don't know how to explain it. It was like her eyes were empty, if that makes sense.
You're meant to be with me.
Vicky, I'm not doing this anymore.
And so I told her, I'm not going back with her. She didn't even really look at me.
Okay.
I mean, she just looked forward and said, so we're really done. This is really over. She was quiet. Scary, because that was something that was different. She'd never been that way before. She'd never really been quiet. And I'm feeling to make sure I got my gun. And she said, okay, I just wanted to make sure. When I saw her that last time, I still knew that she had something to do with it. My conviction of that hadn't changed any. It was February 2000, about 6 months after the murder, that we found out what really happened. The phone rang and I picked it up. It was my former sister-in-law.
Hello?
And she said, I just wanted to let you know that Vicky has been arrested for Diane's murder. And I hear the details of what she had done, what Vicky had done to Diane. And take a break for a minute, please. Absolutely.
This is obviously a serious charge. You know, it doesn't get any bigger than this. A lot of what happens to you hinges on how honest you are.
Vicky killed Diane. Autumn, her brother's daughter, was involved. And Autumn's boyfriend, Matt Pearson. She had waited for me to leave for work. After I'd left, Autumn went up to the door and knocked on the door. Autumn said, "Hey, my boyfriend has just beat me up and I need to use your phone to call the police." And then Autumn pulled a handgun out.
We have information that you and a couple of other people went over to Anita Ray's house, and that you had a needle, and that she was injected, and that was the cause of her death.
They held Diane down, and Vicky injected her with a whole bunch of insulin and injected her with methamphetamine. And the whole time Diane was screaming. And Vicky said, "I don't care, bitch, you're gonna die."
I know that you injected her, and I know that you guys put her on the bed and waited for it to take effect. I know that.
Diane wasn't dying fast enough for Vicky. So she pillow over her face. Finished the job. Then she wanted to kill the 4-year-old girl. Someone spoke up, Autumn or Matt spoke up and wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't go along with it, so they didn't.
Autumn's already told me everything, sweetheart. Everything.
Vicky, Autumn, and Matt were caught. I guess thanks to Autumn. Autumn was in high school still. She was only 15 at the time. And she had a friend, and apparently the friend was not getting along with a stepfather, and Autumn had told the friend that, "Hey, I can help you out." And my Aunt Vicky and I, we got a way of taking care of people, and we won't get caught. She goes, "Well, how do you know you're not going to get caught?" And then she said, "Because we've done it before."
And how we caught wind of it is this friend then contacted us and said, "Look, this is something I can't live with. The gig is up. I know that you killed her. From here on is going to determine probably the rest of your life."
They had rehearsed it the night before. They had practiced what they were going to do to Diane. How much more heinous and premeditated does it get?
What I need you to do is be upfront and be honest with me and tell me what happened.
That I don't know anything about it. I'm telling you the honest truth. I don't know the thing about it.
You lying sack of crap. Look at that. Lying sack of garbage. She knew what she'd done. She knew damn well what she had done.
I think I want an attorney.
That's probably a good idea. You're going to be charged, and we're going to talk with the prosecutor now. You're going to be charged with murder.
I have to say it does give me a sort of sense of sick satisfaction, I guess, to see her squirm. Because for once, she was the one that didn't have the control. So smug. Bet she isn't too smug now. Initially, I was upset with the prosecutor for taking the death penalty off the table. I wanted her to live under the specter of death. She deserved it. By her accepting the life without parole, the goal was accomplished of protecting society. And society needs to be protected from her. If Vicky ever gets to see this, I just want to say, Vicky, you are a son of a bitch for doing this. And And I still hope you rot in hell, and I hope you are miserable where you're at.
Hello, Vern.
Oh my God.
Jade Scotton, and I think you probably already know who I am. I look a lot like my mom, and I'm just here to ask you a few questions and try and clear things up in my mind. One of my biggest questions for you is, why did you just disappear out of my life? You and my mom were really, really close, and I don't understand why you just vanished, and you never cared about my well-being after the events. I never heard from you. I tried to reach out, and I never gotten any response. And so it would help me understand better if you could explain to me why you just left.
You're right. I loved your mother very much. I'm sorry you feel like I abandoned you. That was never my intent, Jade. But I really felt like that if I stayed in your life, it would be more of a reminder of what had happened. And I'll admit that part of it was I was afraid. I know that you've reached out to me. I just didn't know what to say. Please forgive me. Jade, I just did not want to be the reminder of the fact that your mom was gone. And your mom was gone because she loved me and because I loved her.
One of the other questions that I had was that growing up, I've heard a lot of stories about the events leading up to my mother's death. And a common theme among all the stories was that you knew Vicky was capable of hurting people and that you were scared of Vicky. And this feels like it could have been very preventable. And I just want to know why, if you knew that Vicky was capable of hurting people, why did this happen?
That's a tough question, and it deserves an answer, Jade. I guess the short answer is I did not know that Vicky would do what she did. I mean, she threatened to kill my ex-wife with insulin. Maybe I should have seen that sign clearer. Please know and understand that if I had any idea that she was going to do this, I would have stopped it. I would have moved heaven and earth to protect you and your mom. That being said, I make no excuse for what I have failed to do. Please don't ever think for a second that a day goes by that I don't think of your mom. And I don't live with the fact that I didn't protect her. I'm sorry I failed you. I'm sorry I failed your mom. But more than that, I'm sorry that you feel like I didn't care enough for her to protect her, because I would have. So. Give me a break.
What's wrong?
It's just hard. Maybe I should have known.
You okay?
I just need to go to my safe place for a minute. Look, I want to finish this answer for Jade. It's a fair question. These are fair questions. She has the right to know. She's entitled to answers to these questions. Sorry about that, Jade. I had to go and collect myself because your question does just remind me of something that I have struggled with for 22 years. And that is that I didn't protect your mom. I had no idea that this would ever happen. But please don't think for a second that I don't feel a sense of responsibility for what happened to your mom, because I do. I hope you can forgive me. And I hope someday we get the opportunity to have a talk and discuss these questions face to face. I'd love to tell you more about your mom. I wish you all the best, Jade. And let's talk.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would ever be having a conversation like this. When it first happened, I couldn't talk about it at all. It was just too raw, too painful. It took me many, many years to finally get to the point where I could talk about this. It was time to finally stop trying to hide from it and bury it. It was time to just get it out in the open and deal with it. I stopped calling my mother Mom many, many years ago. Now she's just Stephanie. Tomorrow will be 7 years to the day since I saw her last. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Still, this can't be for you.
Let her rot. She dies in prison, all the better. I never knew what normal was. Everybody keeps trying to tell me, this is normal or that is normal. I don't know what normal is. All I know is how I grew up. Didn't see much of Dad growing up because he was always working. Mostly what he did, and he loved doing, was he worked on naval ships. He spent many, many years doing what he had to do to provide for us. So it's just me at the house with Stephanie and the girls, Guinevere and Ruby Grace. Stephanie's priority was always Stephanie first.
Hey, Carol.
The public face was this perfect wife, perfect mother. And then the private face was, she was a master manipulator. She just hid behind that holier-than-thou Christian image.
Hi, how's it going?
Stephanie was all about looking the part. She never actually wanted to play the part. My relationship with Stephanie was always, as far back as I can remember, was always more of at arm's length. When I got old enough, Stephanie had started sending me on errands to the little Jiffy store, grabbing a gallon of milk or carton of eggs.
Honey, don't forget the milk.
Okay, Mom.
One day, I borrowed one of my sister's scooters, and I'm not used to the scooter, okay? Come down the hill, and we gotta make a turn to get to the store. Well, I turned the handle a little too tight, and it just came out from under me. Took a huge chunk out, okay? Bleeding all over the place. Run back to the house. And Stephanie sees the blood, and she's like, what happened?
Did you get the milk? What happened?
I fell off the scooter.
Didn't care a damn bit. The blood running down my leg. Oh, okay. What was it?
It hurts.
Well, you know where the Band-Aids are. Go clean yourself up.
Stephanie really, I don't know if it was more disinterest or just meh. She certainly cared less for me as she did for the girls. There never was any real close relationship between us that I can remember. The traveling growing up started about, I was about 9. We really didn't stay in one place too long.
Come on, kids. I want to get everything packed up before your father gets home.
Dad was always working, so during the day, we'd be packing, just taking boxes, packing stuff up.
Josh, when you're done in here, I want you packing up the kitchen.
We were never really given a reason. We weren't told why. We were just told, hey, start packing.
I don't understand why we're moving.
Because we are.
I didn't know it at the time, but Stephanie was the reason we moved. Usually what it was she would blow through the money and she wouldn't pay the bills. So about the time the debt collector started calling, or the light company was getting ready to shut off the lights, or the landlord came knocking, we're moving again. Stephanie uncontrollable spending was a constant issue at the house between her and Dad. But Dad would go along with it to try to keep the peace in the house. We went from New Orleans to Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and then we moved to Virginia Beach. About 4 to 6 months we'd be in one spot, and then Stephanie would blow through the money, wouldn't pay the bills. Time to go. None of the arguments were ever in front of us. They were always behind closed doors after we'd been sent to bed. He tried many times to teach her, you got to take care of the bills, then you can do whatever.
I don't want to hear it. From now on, I'll just pay it up for myself.
And for the next 3 hours, all you heard was screaming and hollering.
What am I supposed to do?
We could just hear the raised voices and all the shouting.
That's it. No more shopping.
You're the one who's supposed to be providing for us.
One day I asked Dad, why is Mommy being so mean? And the way he explained it to me was that he wasn't giving her as much money as he had been because he was making sure the bills were paid. I was in math class when she picked me up. Stephanie and Gwen and Gracie, all 3 of them. I asked, hey, what's going on? Why are you picking me up? Don't worry about it. Just get in the car. So I get in the car and we go. And we drive the hour and a half to Green Cove Springs. We pull up in front of this iron gate. I'm like, where are we and what are we doing here? I wasn't told what the place was until we got inside.
Right here.
When you first arrive, there's like 3 or 4 employees. One interviews the woman, and 2 more interview the children. And she's like, do you know why you're here? I don't even know where here is. What is this place?
Well, this is a women's shelter.
What's that?
What are you talking about? Women's shelter for what? It was a shelter for abused women.
Why would we be here?
Have you ever seen your dad hit your mom?
No.
But they argue a lot, don't they?
What?
I guess.
I told the employee that if this is a domestic violence shelter, there's no reason for us to be here. My dad isn't abusive. So, I don't know why we're here.
My dad wouldn't hit anyone.
That's not what your mom says.
I was not happy about this. At all.
Look, why don't we get you settled in and we can talk more later?
But I didn't have any contact with Dad. I didn't have any way of getting a hold of him. He was working a job in Mississippi. So, make the best of it. The end of the 3.5 weeks, and we went home and everything's honky-dory again. The only reason we even went to the women's shelter was a manipulation tactic for Stephanie to get more money each week out of Dad. It worked, I guess. We almost had to rush him to the hospital. We think that was one of the first times that Stephanie tried to poison Dad. Stephanie. I'm not even gonna touch that one. I don't want nothing to do with that bitch. That's the first time I've seen that face since I went and saw her in jail. That's her trying to put on the normal, decent person face for the rest of the world. Trying to hide those dirty little skeletons. Trying to make it seem like she's not the bad person that she really turned out to be. Stephanie never changed her spending habits. She would always just blow through money. They would easily go and spend $600-700 worth of stuff.
Hey guys, what's all this?
I really didn't understand Gwen and Stephanie's relationship. Stephanie's priority was always Stephanie first. And then Gwen came in, then Gracie, then me at the bottom. If Gwen and I ended up wanting the same item, Gwen would get it before I would. Stephanie was definitely grooming Gwen. There'd just be piles of stuff, and we kept running out of money.
Oh, nice. So pretty.
What's going on?
It's not a big deal.
And finally, Dad took control of the finances.
I don't know what else to do.
What do you think you're doing?
Just stop.
William!
He would hand her money to go buy groceries, and that was all she would get. He even took her bank card.
You'll get him back when you need him.
She wasn't happy about it. Everybody always says, with that exasperated tone, oh, I'm gonna kill him. But you don't actually mean you're gonna go and kill him. I don't think he realized just how far she'd be willing to go. It really was just a regular night. We ate dinner, and it was only like an hour later, and I was in my room playing on my computer, and I heard him fly off of the couch. All I hear is pounding footsteps, head for the bathroom, and then as someone's throwing up. I just poked my head out and asked, what's going on? Is everybody okay?
Dad, you alright?
Everything's okay, honey. Your dad's just not feeling very well.
And Stephanie just poked her head out and said, no, everything's fine. Your dad just got sick, that's all. Didn't think nothing of it. I mean, I'd been sick a few weeks before throwing up. It was just a 24-hour stomach bug. But he was in there for 3 hours straight. And he spent 2 days hugging that toilet. He couldn't even go to work. And he actually must have lost 15-20 pounds in those 2 days. It was bad. We almost had to rush him to the hospital. We think that was one of the first times that Stephanie tried to poison Dad. We don't have any proof. We don't have anything but just suspicion that it was poison. But Dad very, very rarely got sick. And nobody else got sick. He was the only one that got sick. I get up one day, and Dad is actually home. He had taken a week off. She asked me, "Hey, run out to the shed and go grab a razor for me." Okay, sure.
Here you go. Thank you.
When I walked into the bedroom behind him and saw the burn mark, I'm like, "What happened?"
What's that?
"Oh, your mom dropped a candle last night. Burnt the carpet. Come on, help me cut this out."
Oh, give me a hand, will you?
The explanation she gave Dad was that she just lit one of her smell good candles and was going to put it on the dresser. Dropped the candle on the floor. But I don't know if he realized what she was trying to do. After everything happened, I found out that Stephanie had actually told a family friend Dad was asleep that night, and she tried to light the sheets on fire with the candle while he was in the bed, and apparently he had made a noise, so he had probably started snoring real loud again, and she jumped, candle goes flying and burns the carpet. If she'd have managed it and Dad hadn't woken up, he'd have been burned alive, and the house would have probably gone up too. She heard me coming, and as soon as my foot touched the linoleum, she snatched that knife up and just came at me with it. And there's Dad. And you can tell from this picture, he's pretty happy. That's not a fake smile. If Dad did anything wrong, it's that he tried to help too much. He never tried to take advantage of anybody. He always tried to, treat everybody fairly. And that was the greatest lesson that he imparted. Was, be the best person that you can be to everybody you meet. Yeah, he was a stand-up guy. Before I turned 18. As my independence came out stronger and stronger, she responded by trying to be more controlling. We had gotten up that morning, and just like any other day, we ate breakfast, and she throws down a pink piece of paper in front of me.
What's this?
It's been coming for a long time. Now sign it.
It's a restraining order against Dad. Dad was always working, so I never really got to see that much of him.
No.
Yes!
I'm not signing this. I'm not going anywhere.
I am your mother.
I'm like, no, go away. I don't want to hear it. She was always using us kids against Dad. Because she knew he was never around. Dad was the closest thing to a real friend I had for most of my life. And I didn't want to lose that. And I knew if I went with her, I was going to lose that.
You will do what I tell you to do as long as you live here.
And she's just screaming at me.
Sign the damn paper.
No, I'm not signing.
I tried to walk out and remove myself, de-escalate the situation, do the right thing. As soon as I did that, she started swinging on me.
No.
Sign it.
No.
She never acted like that towards Quinter Gracie. And I don't know why. I don't know where all this anger kept coming from, but I was starting to think for myself a lot more than she liked. So she was trying to do what she could to kind of whip me back in line, and it wasn't working.
I'm out.
Josh!
She couldn't control how I thought. I went into the kitchen to grab a drink of water. And she heard me coming. And as soon as my foot touched the linoleum, she snatched that knife up and just came at me with it. She had never done anything like that toward me before, so it was completely unexpected.
Mom.
I had to run before she could get to me. Haul ass back across the house, back to my room. Slam my door, throw my chest of drawers in front of it to keep her from following me in. And she just stood there at the door, screaming and pounding on me, trying to bust it down. I don't know what her intentions were. I don't know if she was actually going to stab me, or just cut me, or try to scare me. I don't know. All I knew was it's probably time to get the hell out of Dodge. Popped out my window, took off. I know I can crash somewhere else for a couple of days and let everything cool down for a little bit. I didn't think anything of it until I got out of the house. Finally caught my breath, calmed down. It's crazy, just tried to kill me. I knew Dad was coming home that weekend. I just had to wait it out a couple of days. And I knew once Dad got home, everything was going to be okay. So he came and got me, and I explained it to him. And he asked, "You want to go into town to make a police report?"
Do you want to press charges? No. I wouldn't do anything anyway.
It's my word against hers. There's no point. Well, nothing will come of it. And probably my sister's word against mine as well. Gwen and Stephanie were always teaming up against me. Anytime Stephanie was giving her side of a story, Gwen usually backed up Stephanie's side. Gwen and Stephanie really got close. It had kind of become them against me.
I'm sorry, Josh. You don't have to apologize. It's not your fault.
So there was nothing we could do. We just went home. Either I was going to end up in jail or she was going to end up in the ground. And I didn't want either of those to happen. So I'm like, okay, I need to get out of here. Best way to do that, join the service. This was while I was still in training. I'd finally gotten away from all the crap back home. Well, when I left, I didn't look back. It worked out pretty good for a while. My cousin had sent me a message saying, "Hey, you need to call home. There's been a death in the family." This was totally out of left field. None of us saw it coming. None of us expected it. I loved being in the Army. I really did. In Iraq, and I know everybody watching this is gonna say some crap about what I'm about to say, but Iraq was the easiest and best time of my life. Swear to God. My base was the hardest hit. We were the one that was attacked the most out of all of our bases in the Middle East. You got bombs going off everywhere. There's always someone trying to kill you. And even with all of that craziness, all that confusion, still 1,000 times better than what I grew up with. If someone shot at me, I could shoot back. Growing up, I couldn't grab a knife and chase her with it. No matter what, no matter how bad Iraq got, I always knew I had someone watching my back. My first year in service, every payday, she'd call me.
with you?
She wouldn't call me any other time.
Hey.
Hey, Josh, it's Mom. It's good to hear your voice.
She would start with the standard pleasantries.
So how are you? Are you staying safe?
Yep. Everything's all right.
Oh, that's good.
And inevitably, she'd ask for money.
Anyway, things here are a little rough.
I knew better because I knew Dad was taking care of the bills. No, I'm not sending you anything. I wasn't going to be another payday for her.
No, I'm not sending you anything.
She tried to do the I love you thing, trying to manipulate to get more money.
Josh, baby, you don't understand.
The conversation would just devolve from there, and I'd end up hanging up on her.
Don't be that way, Josh.
I gotta go.
And that'd be it for 3-4 weeks. And then phone rings.
What do you want?
The bills are piling up here.
I got tired of it. Look, quit talking to me. I'm done. Don't call me again.
I'm not sending you any money.
Josh.
Bye.
Josh.
After all the crap I'd put up with for 18 years? Nah, you're not gonna swindle me like that. I was on base at the time, and we had Wi-Fi set up around our work areas. And my cousin had sent me a message saying, hey, you need to call home. There's been a death in the family. Both of my uncles and my grandfather had been having health issues, so I figured it must be one of them. Called my uncle. He's like, you sitting down? Yeah, what's going on? Who died? Your dad did. What? And the police are thinking murder. They're thinking homicide. It was with a pickaxe. It looked like a robbery gone wrong.
I gotta go.
It took everything in me, every bit of strength I had from everything I'd been through, to hold myself together, walk outside of my room, stick a cigarette in my mouth, and I didn't even get to light it. I lost it. Collapsed right there. Just broke down. And I sat there for a good 10 minutes. And then another sergeant, she saw me there just bawling my eyes out. She's like, are you okay?
Hey.
I just found out my dad died. Come on, let's get you up, get you back together, get you home.
We're gonna pack your bags and we're gonna put you on a flight back to the US, okay?
Anytime you go overseas, you're routed through Kuwait. When I finally got to Kuwait, I went to the media room to get on Facebook. And as soon as I logged in, the very first thing on my newsfeed was the updated story. My stomach dropped. Stephanie killed him. And she'd ended up arrested. It took a little bit to sink in. I had to read the story 3-4 times to really grasp it and realize what was going on, what it was saying. This was totally out of left field. None of us saw it coming. None of us expected it. The picture with it was Gwen and Stephanie's mugshots. It was her and my sister that had killed my dad. She made Gwen do it. This is one of the very few photos of me and him together. For many, many years, he was my only friend. I'll never get to see him again. Even now, 7 years later, it's still... that loss is still pretty strong. And the mugshots. Shocking would be an understatement. Felt like a sucker punch to the gut, honestly. Bad enough with knowing that I'd lost my dad, but then finding out that it was the two people that were supposed to be closest to him that were the ones that did it. Mind-boggling. Before the funeral, we discussed whether or not we wanted to view the body. Because when Gwen and Stephanie killed him, Gwen grabbed his pickaxe, went into his bedroom, and hit him with it 5 times.
Was he asleep? Did you hit him anywhere other than the head and chest? With what were you hitting him with in the chest? The axe. Why were you hitting him in the chest?
Because he kept making noises that sounded like he was snoring.
So you're trying.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was just so scared.
The police, when they did their investigation, could never prove that Stephanie was in the room when Gwen swung the pickaxe. But even to this day, I maintain Stephanie had to be in that room. Because if she wasn't, Gwen would have never gone through with it. Apparently, Stephanie had been planning this for a very, very long time, like years. And her original plan was to get me to do it. And I'd take the blame. But when My Independence streak came out and she realized she couldn't mold me and shape me to do it, she started grooming Gwen to do it. They did the deed that Wednesday night, and then they came back the next morning and acted like they had found Dad like that.
I want you to tell me, is he breathing? So he's not conscious and he's not breathing? Okay. What's all over the bed, honey?
This was taken outside of the crime scene. Person in the center is Stephanie, trying to act all hurt and confused about what had happened. At first glance, you would think this is just a grieving widow. I could see where, if you didn't know Stephanie and you didn't know her history, I could see where you could be fooled by that. And this would be one of the crime scene photos. That was Dad's living room. Gwen and Stephanie didn't do half a bad job of tossing the place, making it seem like it was a robbery gone wrong. The reason they got caught was because there was no sign of forced entry. The great irony of this whole thing, they were like addicted to crime drama shows, every time someone would get caught, especially for that particular reason, they would always say, I would never be that stupid. I'd never get caught for a reason like that. And then they go and do it. If she ever sees this, I know she's going to take offense to it. I don't give a damn. The only reason I went was because I was trying to get answers that nobody else could get, that even her attorney couldn't get. My visit with Stephanie did not last long. It only lasted about 45 minutes. And I told her straight up, the only reason I'm here, I want to know why. She wouldn't tell me anything. I asked her again, why would you do this? And that's when she started trying to make it out to be my fault because I wouldn't send her money.
You didn't help at all.
None of this would have happened if you'd have given me money.
What did you expect?
And the longer I sat there and the longer I looked at her and the more crap that spewed out of her mouth, the angrier and angrier I became.
Josh!
I left because I was starting to get into such a rage that if I didn't leave when I did, I was going to end up getting arrested myself for trying to go through the glass and get my hands on her. Haven't spoken to her, haven't gone to see her, have had nothing to do with her since. But the visit with Gwen was a lot more heartbreaking. As soon as she saw me, she started crying. And the whole time, all she could say was that she was sorry. I tried to ask Gwen why. I tried to get past all the tears, but she couldn't stop crying. I got a few letters from her here and there, but nothing ever explained anything. It's been 7 years. It's about time for some answers.
We're losing everything. Everything. We had nothing. We had plenty of money. He had $6 grand. $6 grand. You know how much he gave us? $400. Our lights were about to be turned off. We have no car insurance. We have nothing.
And this is supposed to be someone who's caring for you.
Yet, I had no choice. I had to do it.
That took a twist I wasn't expecting. He did not actually have the $6 grand. And he gave Stephanie most of what he got. He kept just enough to keep his lights on and to buy food. For several years after it first happened, I used the term brainwashed. And honestly, I seriously believe that, yeah, she was. That was definitely Stephanie talking. Gwen always had more loyalty than she did smarts. If I had managed to somehow convince Gwen to get out of that house, Dad would be alive, and we'd all have been better for it. I don't think Gwen should have gotten quite as long. She is a guilty party because she did commit the physical act. But she is also a victim as well because of Stephanie's manipulation and her mind warping and her abuse. As far as Stephanie, not long enough. Unless we get lucky and she happens to die in there, not long enough. I beat myself up for many years with what ifs. What if I'd been there? What if I'd seen some? What if I'd paid more attention? What if I had done more to get Gwen and Gracie out of there? Gracie, she and I aren't close anymore. We talk here and there. I really don't know if we'll ever actually be close or not. I know I've got PTSD, and I know it's not strictly service related. I know that this event and everything that happened while growing up definitely contributed to it. I've learned how to kind of cage my anger, keep it under wraps, but my therapist told me, look, you know, you can keep it caged all you want, but eventually that cage is going to break. And when it does, it's not going to be pretty. That was what took the longest out of everything, was learning how to process my emotions. I've gotten better at it, but it's still a struggle even now. That's kind of part of what made me choose to do this. And it has. This has definitely helped. Been oddly therapeutic. When I say I've forgiven Stephanie, I haven't so much forgiven as just let go. I learned a long time ago that, you know, harboring hatred and resentment like that doesn't hurt the other person. It just destroys you from the inside out. And I'm sorry, I want more for myself. I'm still here, I'm still kicking, even after all through all of that. I'm not gonna let something like that hold me back.